guys, welcome back. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Everyone, I'm hot and sweaty and on my period, so I'm not great. I need to sort this. I need to sort out what's going on here. This is gonna be a long video, guys. Okay, I'm sorted now. I've sorted all my piles and I know how I'm gonna talk about all these records to you. This is what you asked for. So many people asked me to do a record collection, so here we are. If you're new here, hi, my name's Ash. I am very interested in 60s, 70s kind of fashion and music and all that good stuff, so stick around if that's what you're into. So today I'm going to show you my record collection that I have been collecting since I was 16 years old. Now, disclaimer, the first maybe 5 minutes of this record collection are my old music taste, but I wanted to include it in the video because I wanted to show how my music taste has progressed. I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do because I did do a record collection on my old YouTube channel like a few years ago, and it was all these records, and I just thought it'd be fun to include them because it's still part of my music taste. I still listen to some of them, and I think it's okay to show that, like, if you're interested in the 60s and 70s, it's okay to still listen to like modern music if you want. Like, it's fine. I have a pile of my old music taste, a pile of my current music taste. Then I have this pile of records that aren't mine, but they are my boyfriend's and they are my favourites from my boyfriend's collection. My boyfriend's collection is ridiculously large, so if you'd like another record collection video of his records, maybe with him in it, talking about some of them, because he has some very interesting ones, some very rare ones, some original ones, some ones that I don't even know, but yeah, if you want another one, there are more records to be shown. I also just wanted to give a very quick shout out to Gimmick Clothing, who sent me this beautiful dress. It is absolutely stunning. I posted some Instagram pictures in it, so go and follow me on Instagram, have a quick look at those. I posted a TikTok, so go have a quick look because oh my goodness, this is just the cutest dress I've ever owned. Okay, so my first record is a band that meant a lot to me when I was like 15, 16, and they are the reason that I have my best friend, and that is All Time Low. This album and this tour is the reason that I have my best friend Lucy. I met her in the comment section of an Instagram account that were talking about All Time Low, and we both ended up going to the same All Time Low show, and we have been besties ever since. Kept it for nostalgia reasons. Next, this band were my literal lifeline when I was like 14 to even 18. I was obsessed with this band. Still am. Still love them. And that is As It Is. This is their first and second album. This one was really cool because it was like 50s style, like the whole aesthetic was 50s, and I thought that was really cool, like with the music videos and things. Patty Walters, I would have died for this man. The amount of videos I made about him, I made an entire YouTube video, like 10 reasons why I love him, and I think he saw it because I met him like quite a few times and he was like, oh yeah, that girl loves YouTube, and I was like, love him. Love him. Next up we have some beautiful, soft, sad girl music. We have Dodie. It is signed. I did pre-order this and it's signed. I love Dodie. Just another one of those from my like teen years. I listen to her when I'm sad a lot. I still follow her and I'm still like a loyal fan, like seeing her do all these tours and festivals. I'm like, I'm such a big Dodie stan. Next is an artist that I adore, and I have loved him since I was like 11. My mom introduced me to him. I have Frank Turner. I have 2 albums. We have Be More Kind and Frank Turner's Songbook. This one is more of like a greatest hits kind of thing, and it really does have all of my favourite Frank Turner songs on. He is like folk, pop punk kind of artist. He definitely more punk, but if you like lyricism, oh my goodness, this man, the way he writes songs. This one means a lot to me, and me and my mum have matching Be More Kind tattoos. That's what this is. Next up we've got the big boy. The big boy that will always, always do it for me. Mr. Harry Styles. I don't have his new album yet on vinyl. It is my birthday in a couple of months, so I am putting it on my birthday list. What can I say? I'm a slut for Harry Styles, and I never will be. Next up I have Lorde. Melodrama, another one from my teen years that I just couldn't let go of because there's some absolute bangers on it. Great album. This album was the first vintage album that I ever got. I suppose it is vintage, but this is Nirvana's Bleach. This is an original copy from an original pressing, you know, because I was brought up on Nirvana and Foo Fighters. So yeah, I like this album a lot, it means a lot. And next, a band that I will always love. and are also coming back around and are releasing a new album and going on tour, and I think I have to go. The 1975. Now, say what you will about the 1975, but I have always been a hardcore Matt Healy stan, and I dropped off. I did drop off for the last album. Didn't like them, didn't like him. Think he is a bit of a dick, and I can say he is a bit of a dick, he's a bit pretentious, I get it, I understand. But these 3 albums are just so good. This one is everybody's like 14 to 16 rebellious phase. It just is. Anyone that's my age, Robbers was the soundtrack to that era. This album's just pure gold. Absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that the new album kind of is throwing back to this one. And as much as this one wasn't as up there with the first 2, this album, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships, I think it was great. I really enjoyed it. Okay, these last 2 are orchestral albums. First, I have the Twilight Saga. This is gorgeous, especially, oh my god, especially for the autumn time. Putting this on a rainy day, oh, this is just honestly stunning. I love it so much. And this other one, my boyfriend bought me as a surprise. I think he said he wanted to get it me for our anniversary, but I was out shopping with him and he bought it. I went into another shop and he came into me and he was like, I've just bought you a record, and I was like, can I see it? And he was like, yeah, okay. But it's this Japanese pressing of the Howl's Moving Castle soundtrack. Howl's Moving Castle was like the very first Ghibli film me and him watched together, so it's like our favourite Ghibli film. Just look at the drawings, and like it's just such a beautiful album to listen to. That's all my albums that aren't 60s and 70s that people didn't really come here to see. This is the shit I know you guys are here for. Let's get into it. So this is still my collection. These are ones that I've bought or been gifted, or these are mine. So the first one my mum gave to me when I first got my record player, and that is Michael Jackson's Bad. I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan, but this album I did like a lot as a child. Next, again, this is an 80s album. However, I do love this album, and that's Prince's Purple Rain. I really enjoyed this album. My dad was the biggest Prince fan I've ever met in my life, still is. This album was on a lot whenever I went to see my dad, so I like this one a lot. Next, I have 2 Fleetwood Mac albums. I have, obviously, Rumours. This is like a new pressing. It's just like one I got from, I think I got it for my birthday, but it's not an original or anything. It's a reprint, but it's great to have. It's a great album to have. Oh, look at Stevie. She's just so pretty. And then this one I was looking for. I don't know if this is an original pressing. It's probably not. It's probably just from somebody's collection and it's a bit battered up. Me and my boyfriend went record shopping and I was like, if you see this album, give me a shout because I will buy it. And like 2 seconds later he was like, you mean this one? And it is Tango in the Night. This is probably my favourite Fleetwood Mac album. Probably just because Seven Wonders is on it. Is what it is, but I freaking love this album. Next, I have 2 Bowie albums. The first one I got for my birthday, and it is this Bowie Legacy. I got this when I was first starting to get into like 60s, 70s music, and I've always been interested in Bowie, so I asked for this because it's just kind of like all of his greatest hits from his different eras, if you know what I mean. So you've got things like Let's Dance, Under Pressure, Life on Mars, Genie, Rebel Rebel, and then you've got on the other side you've got like Fame and Sound and Vision and Lazarus. It's a good little compilation of some of his greatest. And then my other Bowie album my boyfriend gave me, Station to Station. I love this one because Golden Years is my favourite Bowie song, and yes, it's because of A Knight's Tale, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Last night they loved you, opening doors and pulling some strings.
This is a great album. Next, I have an album from the 80s that was my mother's. The sleeve is absolutely battered. It does not hold together anymore, but the record still plays, and it was my mom's, so it's just, I love it, and it's one of my favourite movie soundtracks. Dirty Dancing. Look at this. One thing I love about this is that on the back with all the songs, it has like the scene that the song is played in. And I love Dirty Dancing. This is another album soundtrack that's like a new print, but it's of an 80s movie, and I have The Breakfast Club, again, iconic movie. I was obsessed with this when I was 12, and I mean obsessed. I was in year 7 doing my DT projects about The Breakfast Club. Look at this. So pretty. These next couple of albums are all from my nan's collection that she has kept from her youth, and she has let me add to my collection since I'm living with her. So this first one is The Monkees. This is a bit battered, a bit worn up. I don't want to like manhandle it too much because it's very old, very worn. I'm not a huge Monkees fan, but this album is one that I have listened to all the way through and I do very much enjoy. Next I have two ABBA records. This one I found in a charity shop, and it is The Visitors. Great album. I hadn't listened to this in full until I bought this album, like this record. I really love Two for the Price of One. I don't know why, that song just hits. It's so good. But this is a very, very good album. I like it a lot. This next one is one of my nan's, but this album cover is so cute. It is an ABBA Greatest Hits from the 70s, 80s? I don't know. It's got my nan's name on it. She used to write her name in biro on all of her records because she would take them to the youth club to play them at the youth club, and she wrote her name on it so everyone would know whose it was, which I think is so cute. But look at this, look at the inside. So the inside looks like this. How fun. And when you open up the sleeve like that, look at the outside. It is so cute. And it's got some bangers on it. I've got Fernando, Mamma Mia, SOS, Waterloo. Next I have another best of album, again from my nan's collection from when she was younger, and it is Best of the Mamas and the Papas. I couldn't tell you exactly what year, but this is just a nice... I like having best ofs because then it's like you don't have to collect all of the albums if you can't afford all of them. So this one was also my nan's, and it is another like greatest hits, and it's an Elvis greatest hits. But this has been nice to listen to, especially since like watching the film and gaining a new appreciation for Elvis. So this is fun. Next I have my latest charity shop find. This is an original pressing of this record, and it's so beautiful, and it cost me £5. £5. It's a Marilyn Monroe vinyl. Look at her, she's so pretty. So yeah, this was a really good, fun find in a charity shop, and I've only listened to it once so far, but I love it. I love her, she's so beautiful. This is one that my nan gave me that she found, and it is a John Lennon collection. I love this so much. She gave it me and it made me kind of cry. I was like, oh. She was like, I bought it after he died. I was like, oh. But it's got like Give Peace a Chance, Mind Games, Imagine, just collection of some of John's greatest hits. Let's get into my Beatles records. So this is the only Beatles record that was bought for me for Christmas and is like a new pressing, and it is the White Album. We all love the White Album. I once woke up in the middle of the night to Revolution 9 playing, and it was very, very scary. So these are not every Beatles record, but they are every Beatles record that my nan has kept from the day that she bought them. And to me, it just like, she used to buy Beatles records that she liked the year they came out, as they came out. So these are all from the year that they came out in this country. First up, we have Please Please Me. This one is taped up at the back because she played it so much. She's got little crosses next to her favourite records, which I think is on a lot of these. It's just so sweet, and it's my nan. Then there is a very torn up copy of With the Beatles, very ripped up. As you can see at the front, this has been ripped. She said that she went to her friend's house and she had just bought this album, literally just bought it, and she went to her friend's house and her dog jumped up and like ripped the cover, and she was really, really upset. My nan was born in 1950, so she was literally a teenager as the Beatles were like doing their thing. Then she has A Hard Day's Night. This is my favourite because on the back she has always been a Paul McCartney girl. Always. Still is. Still loves him. And on the back, on Paul's face, she wrote I love you in biro, and on George's. And the last one that she bought is Rubber Soul. She said that she stopped really buying their albums after Rubber Soul because she wasn't as into it, but there's still a few songs that she's never heard. Like, she's not heard a lot of songs of the White Album because she kind of went more towards Cliff Richard. But yeah, I just think this is a really cute little thing to add to my collection. So that's all of my records. But I wanted to give a little shout out to my boyfriend's records because he has some that I just absolutely love and I listen to more than he does. So these are my favourites out of my boyfriend's collection. I can't tell you much about where he got them and things because I wasn't there for most of them. So first of all, we have Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, one of the best albums ever written. This is an original. He also has another pressing. Oh, that smells old. He has another pressing of this, which is an original, again, but it is a radio pressing, so it is one that they would play on the radio when they were playing the new album. This next one, I think his brother bought him, and this is a band called Klaatu. Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft is on this album. If you haven't heard them do it, you might have heard the Carpenters do it. Great song, literally such a good vibe. A fun fact about this band is that when they came out, when they started releasing music, people were convinced that it was the Beatles doing a comeback, and I think it was this album. Don't quote me on this because I'm not 100%. This is just a story my boyfriend told me, and I think it's this album that did really, really well because people thought it was the Beatles, but then it turned out that it wasn't, so people just kind of were like, eh. Next is Jim Crow. This is one of my boyfriend's current obsessions, and mine too, because when he's listening to something, I'm probably listening to it too. This guy is just, he's got an incredible voice. His lyrics are fucking just something else. I love this album. If you've watched Strange Things, you've probably heard You Don't Mess Around with Jim. That's this guy. My favourite song on this album is I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song. I just think it is so beautiful. Next, I wanted to just show this off because Sgt. Pepper. Look at this pile. You see it's starting to come into frame now. This was an album that was like he owned before he saw the movie, but I just wanted to add it in because it's a great movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soundtrack. I hate Quentin Tarantino films. I hate them. I don't like Quentin Tarantino. I don't like gory films. And I know it's like so gory it's like comical, but I don't like it. But I watched this one. First time around I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm so bored. I don't understand anything. The only scenes I'm interested in are the ones with Sharon Tate. But then the end scene, even though it was gory as fuck, I was like, damn, that was really good. And the second time around I just loved it. So a fun soundtrack, a very fun soundtrack. Next is Pink Floyd, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Now this is, I don't listen to much Pink Floyd. One day I was like, to my boyfriend, I was like, I want to listen to this album because look how funky the cover is. And he was like, it's a bit weird. I was like, I want to give it a go. So I gave it a go and it's brilliant. I love it. And I do think the album is one of the funkiest album covers I've ever seen. Next is an original pressing, I believe, of Hunky Dory. This is my boyfriend's favourite album probably of all time. When I very first met him, like the very first time I went to his house, we laid in his bed and listened to this album all the way through. Just wanted to give this a quick little shout out. This one I think is just funky. It is a picture disc of Revolver. I don't know if it's rare, I don't know, but it's just funky as hell. Look at that. Look at the back. Look at the boys. But I like listening to this because it's just funky to look at on the turntable. I think my copy of Revolver is downstairs. I have a copy of Revolver that I bought from a charity shop. And I think I've put it in my boyfriend's record collection, so I do have a copy of that. And then we have this one. Now, if you're a Beatles fan, don't get your hopes up. It's not an original. If you're not aware, this cover for this like EP, this album thing, was kind of like condemned, cancelled, if you will, because of its nature. It's just a bit gory. It wasn't really the Beatles' image, so a lot of people weren't happy with it. So when they released this, they kind of recalled it and plastered a new cover over it. Like they didn't take it back and get rid of them or reprint it. They just put a new cover over it. So if you can find an original of this, you can peel back the cover and this cover is underneath. However, this is just a reprint of that original cover, and the record is this like lovely gut blood kind of colour. But it's got some great songs. It's got some great songs on it, so. We're on to the last 3 records, and I wanted to leave these to last because they are my favourite, and I'm very jealous that my boyfriend got them and not me. First of all, we have, these 2 are new pressings that I bought off like Amazon, I think, just because I wanted my boyfriend to have them in his collection / our collection, because I also wanted to listen to them. We have George Harrison, Living in a Material World, and Dark Horse. This one might be my favourite. I was gonna say Over All Things Must Pass, but I wouldn't. Be Here Now is my favourite George Harrison song, and it's on this album, so I have to say this is definitely up there for me. Adorable, great vibes. The last honourable mention that I'm obsessed with, and I'm really jealous that my boyfriend found it, is an original All Things Must Pass. I think this cost him like £90. We were in Rough Trade, and if you've ever been into a Rough Trade store, you'll know that when they have very rare records, they put like a cardboard sleeve in the place of where it should be, like out on the store. And you take out the cardboard sleeve and it will say like, George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, original copy, £90, ask behind the desk, because it's too old and too valuable to just put out, so they keep it behind the desk. So he found one of those cardboard slits and he was like, I need to get it. And I was like, yes, you do. It's a little bit broken. It's still beautifully playable. Look. Inside this album, you have 3 little record sleeves that have all the songs on. Definitely my favourite in my boyfriend's collection, and definitely one that if we ever broke up I would want custody over. Even though I did not put any money towards it, it's just that I love George Harrison with my entire heart. Thank you so much for watching. I realise this was probably a long video. This is what we came here for, records and music and good vibes, so I hope this fulfilled all of those things. So yeah, don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more vintage content. That's probably where I post the most kind of vintage content, but you know, we're getting there here, we're expanding, I'm enjoying this. If you have any videos you would like to see, any kind of vintage vibes, let me know, because I appreciate feedback and stuff like that. Once again, go and check out Gimmick Clothing for cute little mod dresses like this. Look how cute. Also, if you're a Drag Race fan, Trixie Mattel shops from this store. How fun. So yeah, subscribe for more videos. I have more fun things coming very soon. I am off to Liverpool for a few days, so there'll be a vlog. There'll be some fun videos surrounding that. I will see you in my next video. Bye!